Grab a package on the way in. Hello? Yep.
Okay.
Turn on the lights for a moment. Well, we'll turn them off later. Good packet. Thank you. Thank you. Morning. Come back. Good morning. How are you? Good.
Morning, Peter.
Good morning. Good morning.
Why does your pseudocode look like it's cut off the bottom of your TV?
I know, I noticed that. I'm gonna have to try to fix that.
Did you fix that?
I'm gonna try to.
Go! That's what I fixed.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
That is 20%.
I grab one?
I think
Oh.
I really. It is you.
Not so easy, is it?
I can check. It's not tomorrow.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh, well.
Good morning, Littleton High School. Can you believe it?
Hey, quiet now, listen to announcements, please.
Thanksgiving week.
Have a seat.
Boy, does the semester fly. Ray Greenlee is here to lead you through the pledge. We hope you will participate, and then we'll be back with announcements.
Littleton High School, please stand and remove your hat for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And today's flavor of the day is cherry.
All right, I want to start by thanking everybody who participated in Lions Folly. That is an amazing Littleton High School tradition. We appreciate the class sponsors, MCs, actors, performers, musicians, people in class. Yes, it really is an amazing production every year, and I thank everybody who participated, students and faculty. We really hope you enjoy the one. All right, 7 students participated in Saturday's Knowledge UN Conference over at Kent Denver. Senior Tallulah Torres won that position paper and Outstanding Delegate Award for her representation of the nation of Angola in the Economic and Social Council. Nice job, Tallulah. Saturday, our 6th debate team completed the Zenith Invitational. Told High School Day a big day, leading the way for the light.
You'll be working on your entry ticket during the announcements, please.
Natalie Parker, Allie Bradley, and Alana Joy Lynn, who each took 4th place, and Bella House placed 3rd. In combined speech, Deanna Stoffel, Grady Reddy, and Allie Procopio also took 4th place. At Russ Bassett, Vickerman placed 1st. Great job. I want to let you know we have a general student council meeting tomorrow morning, 7:45 a.m. in the morning. At UCLA Culinary Club meeting Thursday afternoon, 9:30. Join us for our jalapeno popper class. Finally, hockey players, if you are interested in trying out for the LPS Chatsworth Ice Hockey Team, you need to
Guys over there,
register.
listen to the announcements,
This
please.
is our combined LPS district team with players from Arapahoe Heritage, Littleton, and Options. Go to the heritageeagleshockey.com website for registration details. Tryouts start today. Thank you all for listening. Have a great day.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Let's get started. I'm gonna do attendance real quick. Yeah, we're gonna do the entry tickets after attendance. Ellie?
Yes.
Isabella?
Here.
Liam?
Here.
Luke?
Here.
Luca?
That's me.
Quinn? Kate? Hey? Nope, no. Sean? Terry? Ethan? Travis? Connor? Catherine? Kevin? Cheyenne? Rain?
Yeah, so like
Sam?
fourth isn't good here.
Kate? Sophia?
Here.
Alexandra? Kiana? Sam? All right, good.
Perfect. Time to turn my.
Perfect. All right, please show me your entry ticket. There's an exit ticket as well that I want you to work on by the end of the period. Okay?
Yeah, number 8.
The variable.
Oh, you're going to mean like exit?
I should have read the accent.
That works.
Actually, no, that's something like that. I feel like.
But now he says what one more.
Well, it doesn't mean much to me, to be honest. What is this?
Spain, Italy,
What's this one here?
Third was the power
Okay, so you do X.
So
Variable.
that's why they don't have, just because it has all the money.
Times, or like that, times 1.2. That'd be the total cost.
Number 2.
You want just a tip, it'd be X times.
What is it? What is that?
Just tip.
I don't want you. Like,
This is total.
number 4 has. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you're getting ahead. You're getting ahead. So we're going to explain how to do this. It's really up to you. Some people drew pictures. They drew like the text. Some people did it. Other people just wrote it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yes, sir.
I don't have one. I have 2 off here. So I think I'll change there was the first one.
Anyone else? Entry tickets.
I don't.
It's right.
It does work. So let's say it's $12, right? So this would be 10%. $1.20 will be 10%. Double that is $2.40, and that's 20%. And that's what I do. I've always done that. You don't actually need a tip calculator with that, but if you're making a tip calculator, the best way to do it perhaps, yeah, times 0.2. If you want just the tip. If you want the total tip, multiply it by 1. Right? If I'm doing it in my head, I just do what
What if America's not even on the list?
right.
We read out by Russia.
It's easier just to write to calculate.
Hey, to each their own, I say.
Democracy. Yeah, if you run it, you're killed. So. Basically, just a smear campaign. Where the
Yeah, that works.
When you go to a restaurant, you multiply by 1.2.
Total minus total divided by S.
Write it down as
Oh, by 5? By 5. Okay, so if I have $10, and I subtract $10 divided by 5. Right? Okay, so that would be 10 divided by 5 is 2. 10 minus 2 is 8. So you're saying, what's that? My tip should be 8%?
No, it's
Yeah, I think, so if I want 20%, actually, I want 20%. What's the decimal way of writing 20%? Yes. 0.2 or 0. So if I multiply that by my bill, so I have to say bill times 0.2. Right, that's the tip. Now if I want the tip plus the the cost of the bill. There you go. That's much easier way to say it. But I see what you're trying to do. The 20% is the distance between the 8 and 10, not the 8. Right? So. Okay. That works too. Good job.
Okay.
Yep, that works.
Okay, let's keep going through this. Number 11. Number 10. Right now. Payroll school.
What's the point 1?
Cultural influence. Number 6.
Okay, it's asking for 20. So it just be point 2, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
Twice rejected. I love how that's the number one.
so we're gonna have our bill
Twice rejected.
times 0.2 equals the 10. Yep, that's 20%. That's over for 2, you get a 20%. Right? If you want the total cost, I would take the bill
See, number
times
8.
1.2. That equals 20.
The largest economy.
Okay.
The most. Number 3. Number 3. China. They make everything.
Very good.
It's number 8. That's 45. Or 1. Number 4 is cultural influence.
I'll trust you. Because you're trustworthy.
All those people are going to die of snake bites. They will all be dead. Stop.
Anybody else on the entry ticket?
Number 7 is quality of
Anybody else? Going once, going twice?
No, that's not best.
Thanks.
If you're lonely, go to Australia.
All right.
Joey.
Okay, couple things. Need your attention. Ellie, couple things. I need the games put away. No flight simulators. No Minecraft. Okay, put all that stuff away. Also, I need your bags over by the front door. Make sure your phones are tucked away inside there. You don't need your phones today, okay? I'm seeing you guys grabbing your phones and putting it in your pocket. That's okay too, I suppose, as long as it stays there. Also, go ahead and turn off the monitors for a minute, because we're going to do a little introduction, and then we're going to do a little preparation, and then we're going to have a discussion, and then we're going to have a little explanation on this packet, so you guys feel you know exactly what's asked of you, and then we're going to spend the rest of the period working on this tip calculator. Okay, after we pseudocode, obviously, we're going to have a little bit more of a discussion on that. We're going to take it a little deeper. And then you're going to have the rest of the period to work on that and all of Thursday to get this done. Okay? If you finish the tip calculator before time is up, either today or on Thursday, then you can add new functionality to it, or you can go back and work on old projects you haven't finished. If you still have nothing to do, come see me and I'll give you extra credit work, okay? So if you're so advanced that you are not behind, I guess it's not advanced to not be behind, it's just where you're at. But if you're all caught up, come see me and I can give you some extra credit work, okay? The finals are coming. This semester's ending pretty soon here. We have this week, which means right now and Thursday, and then we have a break, and then we have basically our final, because I'm going to give you guys a big project to do. We're going to be doing that inside of our inside of groups. Okay? Yes.
So if we're having like a problem, if we have questions about the syntax of something, would you answer those or do you know?
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah. And also, you have access to every resource online, so it's not like this isn't a test. Really, it's a it's an opportunity for you to show off everything that you gained. That's what will impress me. And I'm going to have a rubric ready for you guys. I'm going to have an explanation. So the final, when we come back, we're going to have to get started because we really only have 2 weeks, don't we? And then all of a sudden, you guys are taking finals. Okay? Now, the thing is, not only are you going to be making your project, but you're also going to be presenting it, so you have to prepare some slides. So the day of the final, we're doing presentations. Presentations can be no longer than 3 minutes, okay? And then as you walk out the door, you're going to know your final grade. Okay? That's pretty cool, right? Any other questions?
Are you gonna like go over the final earlier?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so when we come back after Thanksgiving break, we're in finals mode in here.
When we're making our final, can you help us or do you not?
Of course I can. Yep. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to trick you into getting a bad grade. I'm here to help you succeed. At least that's my intent. Okay? Other questions? All right, cool. Let's get started. Any backpacks that need to go there, do that now. Okay? All right, turn your monitors off, please. All y'all, turn them on. Okay, pseudocode, here we go. All right, so this is a quick review. The monitor's not working right now. It's giving me technical difficulties, so I will look into that when I get a chance. Right now, last time we did a robot activity. I pretended to be the robot. Okay? And you had to give me commands to walk down this aisle and pick up my hat and put it on my head. And the reason we did that was to discover that there are lots of little steps that we just assume a human will be aware of and understand, and then just do. When I say, hey, pick up the hat, put it on your head. Oh, you mean this hat. The one right here in front of me. Right? Computers don't do that though. And so we have to literally define hat for the computer and then tell it what to do, how to pick it up, put it on its head, right? So, but metaphorically, that's what we were doing. When we're coding, we have to point to everything inside the web page. So if we want the computer to go get a number that the user typed inside a box, and we want to get that number, we have to create a variable to store that number in, and then we have to literally make a path for the computer to follow to get there, and then tell it to grab it, and then tell it to put it inside that little variable, right? Now we have it inside this variable, and we can move it to other parts of the program and use it. But step by step by step, we can't skip anything. So therefore, pseudocode. Pseudocode is planning our steps out ahead of time, okay? And there's a huge advantage to pseudocoding, rather than just sitting down and starting to code. Obviously, if I'm building a building, I don't just show up with materials one day and be like, I hope these are the right materials. I hope they fit together the right way. I hope this is going to be a great, like when you make a fort in the backyard, and like you're trying to make a tree house, you can do it two ways. You can do it with a plan or without. When my dad built it with us, we made a plan and it turned out awesome and it's still sitting in the backyard today. Whereas before my dad helped us, we all tried to build one in the woods, and basically we ended up getting one piece of wood nailed to 2 trees. That was about all we got done, okay? And we wasted a lot of time. But it was fun, and we got a lot of bug bites, so that counts, right? Counts for something. All right, so pseudocode is about planning things out ahead of time and designing it, putting intelligence inside your design, making sure that at least, even if it doesn't go to plan, we have something to be flexible with. Okay? Hey, this is the plan, it's not working out that way. Fine. But now we have we have something to manipulate so that the intelligence we put inside the plan isn't all lost. Okay? So, we're going to get with the partner. Oh, we've already done this one. Let's do this. Okay? Here's what we're doing today. Monday, November 18th. I want you to know the following. That the creation of a computer program requires a design process called pseudocoding. If you're making a bridge and you're trying to bridge the gap over, 2 cliffs or a gorge, right? If you don't plan that out, people will die. People are going to be driving their cars across your bridge and walking across your bridge, and it's not well planned out, and you just kind of haphazardly slapped it together. It will eventually fail and people will get hurt. Okay? That still happens even when people design bridges. It still can possibly happen. But at least we're reducing the risk of that significantly by putting intelligent design inside the things that we make. Computer programming is something we make. It's not a thing that you can hold in your hands. It's a little bit more abstract. But to me, that says we need even more planning for that. Because like at least when I have, I'm making something like out of Legos, I can kind of have it there in front of me and look at it and be like, well, it needs this. But I can't really do that for my computer program. It's just abstract words that make sense to the computer, and in my mind I can imagine what it would be like, but perhaps I'm imagining it different than the way it actually is, and that's difficult. So pseudocode helps us to plan all that out. Make sure that we are getting exactly what we hope for, okay? So the creation of a computer program requires a design process called pseudocoding, okay? I want you to understand that planning ahead is not only fun, it's easy. It saves time. How can it save money too? How can planning ahead save money? Go.
You know exactly what you need and how much.
You know exactly what you need and how much, so you're not going to spend it too much. Go.
So it probably work the first time you have to buy all the materials I can.
Okay? Yeah, if you don't plan it out, you can waste materials. You got to buy them over again. Go ahead.
If you have a team, you don't have to pay them for the extra wasted time.
Yeah, if you have a team, you don't have to pay them for extra wasted time. You're going to say the same thing. Okay? And about 100 other ways. Go ahead.
You don't have to waste money on too many materials.
Too many what?
Materials.
Okay, yeah, too many materials. You overbuy. Go ahead.
I mean, if you are building a bridge and you kill someone, you don't have to pay life insurance.
Okay, you don't have to pay the life insurance policy. Okay?
But there's a downside to pay the money, buy the guy who designed it, and you also have to buy the blueprint paper.
Good. Hey, all of you would be good managers. You guys understand the relationship between time, money, and materials? I think that's great. And it allows you to be flexible. Okay, it allows you to be flexible. What are we going to do today? A couple things. We're doing the review right now. Okay? We're going to review what is pseudocode. Then we're going to have a discussion about pseudocode. Then we are going to build the calculator app after you actually practice your pseudocode. Now, pseudocode comes in many different forms. If you want to actually write out the HTML ahead of time by hand, that's fine. If you want to draw pictures of like the text input and then the submit button, that's fine. If you want to write a paragraph in plain English, that's fine. However works for you, okay? But we're going to do that for the HTML. We're going to do that for the CSS. We're going to do that for the JavaScript. And you have spaces provided inside the packet to do all that. Before you're allowed to start coding a single line, I need to see all three of those boxes checked off, okay? So you come and see me with those. By the end of the period also, I want you to have your exit ticket. So I will warn you when there's about 7 minutes left or so. Okay? So let's get prepared for our discussion real quick. Okay? Here are the questions I want you to ask. Here are the questions I want you to ask yourself and answer. And then we're going to get in a group. Then we're going to have that discussion. And then we're going to answer any questions about today's work. And then you get started. That's it. Okay? 7 minutes. Go. What? Right now you're answering those questions on the back of the packet. We're about to have a discussion. Preparing for it. Go. I'm trying, but it was giving me some problems. Maybe it fixed itself magically. Sometimes that happens. If you need to move to get to see it better, oh, it's working.
Perfect.
You want me to tilt it towards you guys? Oh, poop. Poop in the cup. Oh, poop. Ah!
Yes. We're playing like 2 games at once.
Whoa.
Try that one more time.
Still on.
There you go. Okay, I need monitors off, please. Once you focused on the cat. Oh. back and forth between being weird and being normal. I think that's like the story of my life.
Okay. Listen, no, I did not. I don't know how you are. No. Listen, you better be 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You should. No, I'm gonna do my No. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the disc.
Okay, 4 more minutes. Do any of you need this last minute? Okay, 1 minute.
Stupid JavaScript low. I mean, I'm working on the back of the page.
All right, 7 minutes is up. Go ahead and bring your papers, and this group over here, wheel your chairs over and fill in the space over here. Okay? Let's get started.
What else is there to know about pseudo?
Really, this is just about, I mean, the concept's pretty easy, right? It's really about emphasizing why we need it. So it's not so much what it is as why we need it, because a lot of people would prefer not to do it. And in the real world of professional program building, that doesn't fly. I mean, so I'm trying to expose you guys to best practices inside the actual field, right? Cool. All right. Cool. So I want to start off real quick with the story this Saturday. I'm in a coding class. I'm learning how to be a full stack developer. I'm learning how to make websites, both the front end and the back end. Front end is all the stuff the user gets to see. It's the stuff that's inside your browser. So it's all the styling and the HTML and JavaScript. Okay? But when that web page needs to interact with a server, there's JavaScript on the server as well. Not always JavaScript, but I'm learning the JavaScript. It's called Node. And it's just a language that the server uses to interact with that web page in real time. So when you click on something, it sends a request to a server, which is just a big old computer in a room somewhere, who knows where, and it gets what the information it needs, and the computer sends that back to the user inside the browser. So that's front end, back end. Front end is what the user does, back end is what the server does, and you need both. So I'm learning how to build both of those things, right? So I get into the classroom on Saturday, and they put up an app on the screen, and they say, everyone log in to this app. And we get in there, and they say, put in your information. And I put in my information, and I popped up, and it said, on the screen, it said, spaghetti restaurant, Peter Agros, you are on table 1. And then someone else, table 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the tables were full, and everyone else was being populated in a waiting list. Okay? That was one of the functionalities of this app. There was also things that could keep track of tips so that the waiters and waitresses can divide the tips equally and fairly at the end of the day. Right? There's just other things like that. And they said, great, now you know what it is, go build it. And that's all they told us to do. And we're all looking at ourselves, we're in our groups, I had a group of 5. We're like, what? They taught us all the code and stuff on how to do it, but now they're just throwing us into the deep end and saying, go for it. Well, this is what we did. We sat down and we pseudocoded, didn't we? We sat down and we figured out, all right, what are the needs, okay? And then we said, who's good at what? You're good at front end, you're really good at the style, you guys are gonna be doing that. You two do that, we two will do the back end. I had a partner and we were doing the back end stuff. And then someone else was kind of directing it all. And then we sat down and we pseudocoded. What do we want this to look like? And we spent an hour. We had 4 hours to build this thing. We spent 1/4 of our time planning. Because we did that, we were able to finish and get our final product. Not only was it finished, I think it was even better than the one that they showed us. It looked nicer at least. And it had some functionality that the original one didn't have. And the reason we were able to do that was because we were able to plan ahead and foresee issues and and at the same time, we're not giving somebody a task that doesn't fit their strengths, right? So it's a great way to plan, right? So that's just my quick little story about pseudocode, and kind of helping you understand what it's for and why. Okay, so who could give a quick description? It doesn't have to be a definition, but a description of pseudocode. What did you come up with? Go ahead.
I said like comments, and it's kind of like templates/guidelines.
I like that. Template, guidelines, plan, recipe. Any of these words are great. Yeah.
So it's also fair for like organizations like we code, you're like, oh, this 30-thing long line of random Java actually does this thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yes.
I saw it as a plan, like written out, sort of block code that can be revised.
It could be revised.
Have to fix it.
Yeah. It doesn't have to go exactly the way you wrote it, but it's at least a general idea. It's kind of like when you plan out your Saturday, right? It's like, all right, I'm going to go to my friend's house, we're going to go see that movie, then we're going to go to the game. But if things don't happen exactly that way, no big deal. It's turning out the way you want it in the moment, right? Okay, go ahead.
I describe it kind of as like a to-do list you're writing out.
A to-do list. Someone mentioned that your pseudocode can turn into the comments. which actually label the parts of the code to allow other coders to read it easily, right? So pseudocode has that functionality as well. Yep.
Wait, what's the difference between pseudocode?
Okay, a pseudocode is a plan for the entire program. A comment is just a line inside your code describing a section saying, hey, this is what's trying to happen here. This is what, I'm describing in plain English what the code is doing in code language, right? So it's a way for other coders to read your code and know what you're trying to do. Because otherwise, if the comment weren't there, maybe I could figure it out, maybe not. So code has to be read not only by computers, but by other humans. And so it has to have both of those functionalities, right? Certain languages are easier to read than others. I think JavaScript is pretty straightforward. I think Python is even easier than JavaScript. It's just a lot less keywords to remember and stuff. CSS is like real simple, right? You just select something and change its style. That's it. What else? All right, I think we feel pretty confident in what pseudocode is. Okay, number 2. What does pseudocode have to do with computer science? Okay? Well, I want to start off by saying this. Computer science has very little to do with computers. I know that sounds funny, but if you think about it, it makes some sense. Astronomy, which is the study of the stars, is that really about telescopes?
No, that's telescopology.
No, it's not about. It's about the stars. You're studying the stars and the planets and galaxies and outer space. But we use a telescope as a tool that will enhance our knowledge and enhance our investigation. And that's what a telescope is to astronomy. However, in computer science, really we're not studying computers, are we? What are we doing?
Science.
Yeah, the science of problem solving. Really, computer science is the best problem solving minds in the world coming together and solving a problem using computers as the tool. Just like the telescope was the tool in astronomy, computer scientists use computers and computing, right, in order to solve the world's biggest problems for any field. In a way, computer scientists are potentially part of any field, okay? Not just computers, right? So a field will come to a computer scientist, a software development program or company, and say, hey, this is our problem. All right, we think we can do that because these are our strengths, and you go, yeah, let's do that. And then they put together a team, and then they set a deadline, and then they spend weeks, if not months, planning. And then they finally start coding, and then they have a series of tests and beta tests. Hey, we have a functioning prototype now. Now we got to test it and get all the bugs out, right? And then finally they have the final product, and they have the presentation, and they can either sell it or use it privately or whatever it is the code does, right? So that's how that works. So pseudocode is basically the planning and designing aspect of software, okay? Number 3, what would happen if we designed something without a plan? We kind of discussed this already, but I want to hear from you.
Well,
Go ahead.
It wouldn't be very efficient. You'd probably do some extra stuff that you just didn't need to do.
Right? Yeah, so you're wasting some time. That can be frustrating as well. Takes the fun out of it.
Well, I mean, it could work. If you did it right, it could work. It's just
I mean, you don't
easier
Right.
to have a plan.
That's a good point. Ellie makes a good point. She said, if I don't, sometimes it could work. That's true. But when someone else's money is on the line, I don't want to be taking the risk with their money that maybe my code might work because I don't feel like planning it out, right? The other thing is to validate your point, I feel, if you ask me to make a program that I made 100 times, and you're like, can you make me this? I made this tip calculator, I can do it in my sleep. I'm not going to sit down and pseudocode, right? I'm just not. You're like, oh, okay, I know how to do this. I've done this 100 times, and it'll work the first time through, I guarantee it, because I have that experience. Pseudocode is for unexplored territory, for sure. Code that already works, we copy and paste that all the time in the industry. We do that all the time. We are all about reusing code that works, right? We don't reinvent the wheel. Like a mechanic doesn't look at a a car with a flat tire and he's like, you know what? Probably want something round there. 'Cause then it could roll.
Pseudocodes.
Maybe, you know, you don't reinvent the wheel as a mechanic with a flat tire. You just, oh, yeah, tire, put the tire there, right? We do that all the time. But what we're trying to do is push our boundaries into solving problems that haven't been solved yet. Then, absolutely, yes, we need pseudocode, right? Other questions?
Here in real time.
Name 3 benefits of pseudocoding.
Oh, yes, now.
1,
It saves money.
saves money. 2,
Makes it easier to debug.
makes it easier to debug. I love that. 3,
Saves time.
saves time.
Make it more efficient.
Makes it more efficient. Saves resources. Makes it easier to read and understand. These are all huge benefits, okay? Awesome. Any questions about pseudocoding as such?
Makes it taste good.
Makes it taste good.
Agreed.
Okay? All right, project. Ready? So you guys are making this calculator tip. Tip calculator. Calculator tip? Tip calculator.
Oh, my foot.
Okay? So you'll be making that. You need to pseudocode that out in those 3 parsed out sections. Please show it to me before you begin coding. Okay? If you have questions, come to me. You have the rest of this period and Thursday to finish. Mark, get set, go.